Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Captain Marvel Monday at the movies. And this story is on 3 separate websites, so you know it has to be true. And so we'll start with ScreenRant.com. Captain Marvel's in-game suit was CGI because Marvel changed their minds. Now, I have no doubt about this. This was one of the things that we've seen all kinds of releases saying that the director's Endgame really didn't know what Marvel wanted to do with Captain Marvel. Weren't sure what to do with her in the movie. It may be in part why they had her punched out of the movie for a long time. Thanos, crushes an Infinity Stone and grips one and punches her out of the movie. Maybe. I mean, but I think, this gets more to the Captain Shoehorn syndrome that we had with this. I think maybe they defeat Thanos. The Avengers defeat Thanos on their own. Captain Marvel then comes in at the end and says, hey, but there's something worse coming or something, And that may have been a bit better. But anyway, Brie Larson wore her original Captain Marvel suit on set of Avengers Endgame, but had a different one in the movie because Marvel Studios changed their plans. And also check out my video on she was almost an Age of Ultron. Well, the character, I don't know if Brie Larson was cast at the time they would have needed her for that. The studio officially announced plans to bring Carol Danvers into the MCU back in 2014. At one point, she was considered to have a cameo in Avengers, Age of Ultron, but plans solidified to have her MCU debut in her solo Captain Marvel movie. Thanks to some reshuffling of the Phase 3 release schedule, Captain Marvel arrived in theaters just a few months before Carol was set to appear in Avengers. I think it was all part of the plan. I would think differently if the Captain Marvel comic book was selling very well and had been selling. In other words, she was relatively popular and known as opposed to just semi-unknown. The original movie saw Carol change to her usual red, blue, and yellow suit by the end, but that isn't how she appeared in the team-up film. When Carol came back to Earth after several decades, she had changed her costume and did so again in the 5 years that happened after the snap. But set photos from Avengers Endgame showed Larson still wearing Captain Marvel's original costume, and that's because it was intended to be her suit for this movie and not Captain Marvel. Okay. I don't know. Okay, that says article contained below advertised. Okay, so here we have some, and how she is in there. Okay. In the recent released the Arc of Avengers Endgame book, director of visual development Andy Park confirmed that Captain Marvel's original suit was designed for Avengers Endgame. He fully intended to use the suit in both movies as that was the plan, but it was later decided that it makes more sense for Carol to have changed her look at some point in the 3 decades since audiences last saw her, giving Park an opportunity to come up with some alternative looks. Okay. Like one with Miss Marvel's traditional scarf. The way it worked was I designed her look first for the Russo brothers for Endgame because she initially filmed her Endgame appearances before her solo film. It was a very odd situation. I haven't had in all my years that I've been here. To design a character for one director, knowing right away she's going to have her own solo film with a different director. So she acted in Endgame with her solo film costume, and then it was decided later that he wanted a new costume for Endgame because they would. Because why? Why would she wear? I cannot read tonight. Why would she wear this exact same costume decades later? Yeah, that's also part of it. But when they approached me and explored about exploring new looks, they ranged from weathering her costume look as if she'd gone through some years of adventures, but she kept the same costume, maybe with some additional additions like the sash. Then I started going a range of pushing the design further back, breaking into the colors, breaking the colors a bit, and introducing a little bit more blue. So there we go. Okay. This information from Park provides us with an inside look at Marvel Studios' process and just how unusual the productions of for Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame were. Yeah, that's an understatement. They wouldn't be in this position under normal circumstance, but the earlier timeline for Endgame meant Larson was filming scenes for her second MCU appearance before she worked on Captain Marvel. Yep, Captain Shoehorn right there. Instead of having a production completed on her solo film and knowing how the movie was shaping up, Marvel was left to make changes to Carol's MCU journey in post-production. This could also explain why Captain Marvel had her original suit and all the marketing materials for Endgame. Okay. With 4 suits and 2 appearances, the makeover that Captain Marvel's suit has gone through is not likely to stop here. Her suit has the built-in capability to change colors on the fly, and it's something Marvel already had taken advantage of. That's just, they have that in the Captain Marvel movies. It was all green, and then she changed it. They figured out an explanation for these changes in the movies, but there is the bonus that these new suits give Marvel the ability to cash in on a new Captain Marvel merchandise. People aren't really buying. That may not be the driving force behind the changes. No, probably not. So there we go. So do we have any comments? We're going to go into another article, because some of these websites, you just scroll, you just go from article to article. Captain Marvel had a CGI shoot in Avengers Endgame because Marvel changed their minds. We got this covered.com. So pretty much the same stuff. The way it looked was designed for first look for Russo Brothers Endgame, because she initially filmed her Endgame appearances. So Endgame concept art. So there we go. That's interesting. Everybody's just covered head to toe anymore. Is that it? The two is from the web. Once Larson's Endgame scenes were shot. Okay, so that explains a lot of the CGI stuff. We have no comments, really. I've had this thing sitting here a while. Let's double check that no comments rolled in, and they have not. So there you go. We got this cover.com. This is a day ago. And from the Inquisitor, yet another rag I like to read. Is this Caitlin? I guess Caitlin Albers. Same type of idea. Film director. Okay, so here we have view on Instagram loading the. Okay, so I don't think it's going to change any, but we'll fire it up in Chrome. I always forget how to turn my ad blockers off. So what I don't understand fully is why this is even news. I mean, it's kind of known. There's a lot of CGI that gets used that people don't realize, even in the suits and everything. I know they complained about Batman's suit previously, and then we're going to get a stupid video playing. We're just going to close Chrome. Goodbye. Even the suit for Iron Man that Martin Downey Jr. Robert wears. Originally it was a lot of practical effects, and over time, even some of the Spider-Man stuff, Doctor Strange, these guys wear a lot of, many of them, all the actors wear motion capture plots, and so they'll have pieces that they interact with, and then everything else, Ant-Man. I mean, obviously the helmets and all that stuff, when they're coming on. Now, sometimes they take things off, so sometimes there are some practical effects. But it's amazing how often, and then they just replace it. So, well, there you go. And now we're getting something from Star Wars here. I'm going to stop that because I don't want to get flagged. But I actually kind of like this outfit, which I think is what she more or less wore in the end. There's more blue in the shoulders. I guess that's what they kind of redid. If I look at, which one, where was the Peter Parker? Yeah, there's the Peter there. And that scene is so horrible. Hey, Peter, ha ha ha. Yeah, nice try, little guy. But, a lot of people complained about the scene that comes after this where the girls all show up. I don't see it. To me, it just felt somewhat organic. The whole thing's in motion and they just come together. I thought it was stupid because none of them provide better protection than what she had on her own. But, the girl power moment was kind of dumb in that regard, but not what I disliked it for most of the reasons different reasons that I've heard. So here we have some more of the gold on the shoulders and all that other stuff in here. There's more red, it looks like, but there we go. So just in case you were wondering why in the world Captain Marvel had so much CGI in her suit in Endgame, well, there you go. They changed their mind. They do this. This is also the Age of Ultron stuff that I covered in a previous video. They CGI'd out they had a stand-in, but they completely changed that scene, and they had done some with that actress or the stand-in person. I don't know if she was an actress or a stunt woman. But they use it for Scarlet Witch, and so they completely replaced the character. So this is not too odd. This is the norm. A lot of people crap on the prequels because of CGI, and I think they would be amazed how much CGI is in movies nowadays. At some point, there aren't going to be any actors. We can tell right now, a lot of it looks like a video, especially when things look like a video game and things aren't really moving right. Most likely that's a whole CGI sequence, but that is going to get slowly. I wouldn't be surprised if the actors are providing only the voice, maybe facial expressions, but we'll see. All right, so what do you think of this? You think it's good, bad, you're indifferent? Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for stopping by for Captain Marvel Monday. These videos seem to do better on Monday, so we're gonna try it out this way, and we're gonna be rolling into the new year with some new ideas. Got some stuff in the works, so check it out. Don't miss anything. So I don't want you to miss anything. So please subscribe and hit that bell notification button so that and make sure you stay subscribed. I've had several people, mine like all a bunch of channels. You don't come by in a while. YouTube thinks you don't like it, and they unsubscribe you. I have been unsubscribed from several channels that I really, really enjoy. A lot of it's on how to use Final Cut Pro and different stuff and different techniques, and that's part of what we're going to be experimenting with in the new year. So thank you so much, and we will see you. Goodbye.